Hello, everybody. Hey, this must be Wednesday again. Hey, I have Francisco in here today, and we kind of wanted to talk about why are you still renting? Because seriously, why are you still renting? You're paying someone else's mortgage. Might as well be yours now. So, because this is kind of what we brought. We were talking about one of our clients. We just got into contract yesterday, and we thought it would be a good thing to talk about. And I'm gonna let you kind of speak some more there, Francisco. It doesn't need to be just me talking here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, so, going into that, I think it's a huge statement, right? As far as why are you renting and what we can do to help you, fire your landlord and you be your own, owner, having that pride of ownership. And every month, that money's going towards, you. Like I always say, you treat these houses as well as like a piggy bank, you're investing in yourself. Um but definitely, like with these clients that we are helping, um, it was crazy. They were renting. I mean, they still are renting.
Right.
But it was funny. I mean, I had met them a few months ago at an open house, and I had been talking to them and trying to motivate them to, start going out there and start viewing and checking things out. But she was just like, no, we're just a little tied up. We're a little busy. Last week I get a text, hey, we got a 60-day notice.
Right.
We really need to find something. So that's when unfortunately, I mean, the good thing is it put the fire beneath them, right?
Yeah, made them to do what they should have been doing, but now they have to do it.
Exactly. And now they're doing it, and they're with a time crunch. Granted, the time that it happened, I think was great for them too. Kind of how we've been saying, during these past few months that, now is a time of opportunity. We're not how it was, 4 to 2 years ago,
Right,
4 months ago, 2 years ago, right? It's not as crazy. So now with them, they have a great opportunity.
Right. And let me just kind of explain to people what we're talking about. So prior to prior to now, if you couldn't ask for, up until 2 years ago, before 2020, and everybody started checking out houses and buying them, everybody was able to kind of ask for closing costs, raise the purchase price a little bit, get the closing costs, and then actually it benefits the seller and the buyer at the same time. But during the last 2 years, you couldn't ask for anything.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean it was and at that point it was like you couldn't even ask for repairs.
Right.
Things that were actually pretty mandatory or pretty, detrimental to the house, you still couldn't even ask for that. And now we're at a stage where, Ed and I have just helped out this family, and not only are they getting $8,000 in closing costs, but a brand new AC.
Right.
So, that's huge. Especially, when you still have everybody who's like, oh, this market's crazy. We don't want to go into it. It's too much right now. Like we've been saying, right now, it's a good time because the interest rates, that's one of the things that, unfortunately, from what we've been hearing, is they're going to continuously be going up. And, right now is
eventually they're going to come back down, but you don't want to wait for that, because then everybody will be out there looking to buy at the same time, and you'll be back to, many offers.
yeah. And right now, there's a bunch of houses even just sitting, getting price reductions. And, if you can beat the curve, beat the price reduction, you offer that price reduction, right? And you get out there. I've even been having some of my buyers, I've been motivating and, trying to get them to understand too, let's say, like for example, with our current clients, right, where they wanted to limit themselves at 450, right? So instead of just sending them homes at 450, I was also sending them homes at 460, 470, because, right now with the way that everything's sitting, we could actually bring that down.
Right.
I've actually been expressing to my clients, I'm happy because for the most part, I do help out buyers. I've always felt that it's more fun, right? Like there's that chase part of it. But with buyers, it's just, for a while they were just hindered. I mean, it's just across the board. You're competing with so many people. You're not able to get any of these closing costs. I mean, and a lot of the times, some people, unfortunately, they had to use all of their money to get into a house, and I personally don't like doing that to my clients. But some of these people absolutely had to do that. I always think that you should have some cushion money, and right now, being able to actually ask for closing costs and get some of that help, you're actually able to go ahead and, actually get into these situations where you're not coming out, with all of the closing costs, right? You can have some help.
Right. Because I mean, think about it. You're getting a 60-day notice. You're not planning on buying a house right now. You didn't save everything, and you might not have all your money for your down. You have your money for your down payment, but you don't have the money for the closing costs. And so we're able to go back now. And it's not, I know a lot of people are worried and nervous right now. All it is just shifting a little bit to where everybody is going to be in a happy situation, meaning that you're going to get into contract. You're going to be able to get your house. You're going to be able to have the seller help you with some closing costs. They're still going to get the price they kind of want. They're still going to net a lot of money, but everybody's in a good situation right now, instead of being so far to the past the point of a selling market to a ridiculous market,
Right. Yeah, and it's and it's still definitely something like I've been mentioning also to sellers, a lot of people that at that time, for quite a while, even contingent offers were like taboo, right?
Mhm.
It really, I mean, it wasn't happening much. Yeah, for the most part, it was, a lot of cash buyers and just a lot of people with huge downs going in and trying to buy as many investments as they really could and everything. But things are changing. I have a client who for the longest time, I mean, they've just been waiting because it didn't make sense for them. I personally even advise a lot of the homeowners that wanted to sell and buy into something new. I actually was advising them like, hey, you're running a huge risk doing this because I mean, for the most part, nobody was really getting accepted if you were contingent.
Right.
So now we're at a different stage and, you can get accepted contingent, not even just contingent, but also, if things come back on inspection reports, you don't feel scared to ask. A lot of the times people were even uh, scared to ask because they're like, well, we'll just take on it. We know how the way that the market is, which, it was unfortunate. It was a very, very tough market right now. Everything is just, it's settled and, just a lot easier and more feasible.
Right. And it's just the uncertainty is a benefit for a buyer right now, as long as you're not the buyer who's uncertain about whether you should be buying or not. Because let's just say this isn't going to happen, right? I keep saying this. We have, according to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, we have about 4.3 million homes that we're short right now that we need for across the country, right? At the point we're building right now with 200,000 extra homes, according to them, it's going to take 19 years to get caught up. If we was only a million homes short, it was going to take 5 years. So all we're seeing is a little low right now because people are freaking out because we had such low interest rates. 2018 and 2019, people were buying and had no problem with the interest rates, and that's where we are. You just have to be okay with, yes, your payment's going to be a little bit high right now. Hey, in a year from now, we're refinance. Keep talking. I talked about this earlier today. But be okay with the payment now, but just think, hey, eventually I'll be able to get this down even lower and make my budget so much better.
Right. And that's, one of the biggest things that I've actually been mentioning as well to current tenants. If you're a tenant, what's been happening every year and what's going to be happening, considering the way that inflation has been hitting everything, landlords are going to be increasing your rents without a doubt.
They have to because of the rent laws now. If they don't, they can't keep up with the market rent. So they have to increase it 0.5% every time your lease comes due.
Right. And with that being said, what's more certain, right? And we do see, like we say, right, everyone's concerned about uncertainty within the market. But if you get into a house and you get into your 30-year fixed mortgage, it's fixed,
And
right?
you know where your payment is for those 30 years, and all it can do is go down.
Exactly. And as you continue, like we mentioned, right, you go ahead and you refinance, you're just going to be getting into a better and better situation rather than if you're renting, it's only going to be getting worse, right?
Right. Because if you go back and you look at where people got into buying homes, 10 years ago, and they fixed their actual payment at 1,500, rents were like, 1,200. Now rents are 20 some hundred, right? It could be 2,000, 2,200. I heard of houses in Modesto over off Oakdale for 3,200 a month.
Yeah. No, I mean,
rents I'm talking about, not mortgage payments, rents. Yeah.
Yeah. You have people, I mean, paying what, like 1,000, 1,200 for even a bedroom. We're like at those Bay Area rental prices, it's crazy.
But you can still get out and get your own place, get the rent, and the best thing to do is at least reach out to Francisco or myself. You can message me here, or, you get a hold of me through edparcaut.com. Francisco, what's your phone number?
209-493-2400.
Yeah. Now remember, he's He's younger than me, so for some reason he has no social media places, and we're going to fix that for him. And then you can reach out to him there, because that's important to be able to get a hold of him. Again, your phone number one more time, Francisco.
209-493-2400.
Right. Reach out to me. I'll get you pre-approved and fully underwritten, and then we'll go through different scenarios, what you can afford. Most people that are going to look first-time home buyers going to be around 476 or below. That's that FHA loan limit. Give us a call. We'll go through the numbers, and you can find something out there for that right now. And a lot of people are worried. Don't be worried. Focus on the fact that you're taking an opportunity. You do stuff when other people aren't. That's the best thing you can do. Don't do the herd mentality where everybody's running and getting rid of their houses right now real low because they think the market's falling. It's not falling. We're not 2008. This is nowhere close. Everybody has a lot of equity. Everybody has low interest rates. We're not losing any houses. We're not losing any foreclosures. Anyway, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. Get out there. Start shopping. Now is the time. And we're here to help you. Thanks, Francisco, for being here. Anything else you want to add before we go?
Right. I think something else that we didn't touch on, right? For investors as well, it's a great time.
Let's just help buyers.
Yeah. No, it's either,
the investors are buying everything up all the time anyway.
Yeah. And
they've been buying and buying and buying, which is great. I love helping them, but I want to get some families into homes and get them out of the rentals, because all we're doing, and please, I'm not trying to knock what you're saying. I'm just saying, let's help the buyers we're talking about get into homes, and then we can help the investors, but let's get the buyers the first home, and let's help them buy an investment home after that.
Right. You're right. Definitely.
Yeah. And there's always, if they're available, duplexes are a great buy, triplexes, fourplexes, you live in one of them and you get the FHA loan cover for the other stuff, and you can use the rents. There's a lot of different ways to do this. If you're single and you're buying your first place, the best thing to do is a duplex, triplex, or a fourplex, because you can get in the one and use the rents from the other three.
Definitely.
All right. So there's a lot of stuff we can do. We like investors, but I want to get some families into homes and get them out of the rental game.
We're in there. We're getting there.
All right, man. Thanks again for coming in, and we'll see him again next week. And if you guys need anything, reach out to us.